Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Smitty here with Smith Show Collectibles. Guys, today we have a very fun little reveal. That's right, we have bubble wrap. No, I'm just kidding. If you guys can't tell, this is a giant stack of 12, I believe it was, bubble wrapped comic books, graded comic books coming back from CBCS. Guys, as always, we love having you. I've been teasing this submission reveal for a while now because it's been a while, but as always, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. If you're new, please view some of our other videos. We've been doing a lot of trading cards. We've been doing some graded card reveals. We've been doing a lot of box breaks, things like that, new product releases. We have a lot of fun here, and we love having you. We appreciate the comments. We appreciate all the people subscribing to our channel. So guys, this one's for you comic book lovers. I've been teasing it for a while. It did take almost a year. I'm going to be very honest. CBCS, if you're not familiar, they are affiliated with Beckett Grading Systems, which is the trading card company. I'm sure you've heard of Beckett. A couple years back, I believe Beckett purchased CBCS. They're out of Dallas, Texas. Great company. Their turnaround times are pretty slow these days, I'm going to be honest. This was a submission January 30th. I did it here in Atlanta at a in-person convention. At the time, turnaround was about 6 to 8 months. Well, it's been about 11 months. It's fine. It is what it is. If I recall, and we'll find out in a second, it is 12 books. Nothing super high-end, but I did have 2 books that needed verified signatures. That's one of the cool things about CBCS, guys, is that they will verify, signatures on your books, whereas other companies, and obviously CGC is the one I'm referring to, they only do like in-person verified witness signatures. If not, you get a green label with it. It'll just say writing on it and stuff. So I do appreciate that this goes through the Beckett Authenticity Service to verify your autographs, which I had received in person just prior, just not witnessed by anyone. So therefore, they do qualify as a verified signature. It gets a gold label, which is super cool. Anyways, long story short, I got 12 books. I'm super excited. There's not any like super heavy hitters, but there is some new, I don't want to say new. There's some newer stuff, some older stuff, a couple signatures. There is a Stan Lee signature in here. So we're going to get into this. I already unboxed it just because there was a little issue with shipping and I got a little nervous that maybe my books might not be in there. But it appears everything is intact. Mind you, very well bubble wrapped. Thought I'd kind of, everything's very secure. Good grief. So 12 book submission. It was their, I guess you'd call it their modern tier. However, there were 2 books that this would be, I apologize. I don't have the tiers in front of me, but this is their like modern tier. I think 2 of the books were a little older, so they actually ended up being a little bit higher value tier. And like I said, there are 2 verified signatures. And anyways, so if I could ever get this crazy bubble wrap job. All right. Anyways, so as you can see here on the back, we have gold label. So I'm going to flip these over. And in no particular order, we have, this is, nice. So this is our A-Force number 1. I'm going to have to sincerely apologize for some glares just because we're dealing with, so A-Force number 1. This is a fun little book I ended up buying on the newsstand back in 2015. I got this local comic store back in Florida where I lived, and pretty good condition, 9.4. That's not bad. So I ended up getting this autographed, sorry about that, by Jorge Molina. If you're not familiar with that name, get familiar with it. And what's cool about A-Force, this is one of the newer release books, was A-Force was actually the first appearance of a character called Singularity, who is supposedly supposed to be appearing in the MCU very soon. So this is pretty awesome. I'll take a 9.4. That's not bad. So here we have our A-Force number 1. And as you can see, it says verified signature Jorge Molina because it was verified by Beckett Authentication Services. Obviously not witness. So pretty sweet. Nice little start. All right, coming up next, we have... All right, so this was Chew number 1. If you're not familiar, this was a series that came out late 2000s, or excuse me, 2009. and it is an Image book. Kind of a little bit of a cult favorite. I got a 9.2. That's not terrible. I actually got this book in a collection. I bought a collection, so there's a lot of books that I got from somebody else's collection. So I like to consider myself pretty good at judging trading cards as far as going through. Comics are kind of a bigger deal when judging grading and stuff like that, because you got to go through everything. But we got a 9.2. This was the third printing. Obviously, there were, multiple printings. I don't know how many. I think there was like 5 or 6. But so we got a Chew number 1, CBCS 9.2. It's not too bad. This looks like an older book. You can kind of tell. You can see from all the water stains and stuff on the back. This would be, well, we'll find out. This was awesome. Okay, so here we go, guys. We've got our, sorry about the glare again. I apologize. We've got our Fantastic Four, number 66. Now, what's cool about this book, I got a 5.0. This was actually, as you can see here, from 1967. What's awesome about this is the first of the two-part origin of him, who becomes Adam Warlock. So if you're not familiar with the character, guys, get familiar with the character. We'll be making his Guardians of the Galaxy debut in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Adam Warlock, great character. If you haven't read, like, the Infinity Crusade, you should. And this was like the origin story of him. Because before he got the name Adam Warlock, he was referred to as him, almost like a deity, if you would. So here we go. We got CBCS 5.0. Again, I wish I had... Get that glare out. Sorry. We got some overhead lights here. 5.0, Fantastic Four, number 66. I get a little... Sorry about the adjustment. All right, next up, we have... Okay, so we were speaking of Infinity Crusade. Here's the Infinity Gauntlet, number 1. We got an 8.0. Not awesome. Not terrible. I was really hoping, I know there was a little bit of corner stuff like that. I think I can go and check the notes. But if you're not familiar with the Infinity Gauntlet, I mean, this is the Thanos story. This is Thanos acquiring the Infinity Gauntlet. It's basically what the Infinity Saga in the MCU was about, right? So this is an awesome book. I recommend get this in your collection, man. If you want it, you can have an affordable 8.0, because I was hoping this would have been better. Super cool. This is artwork by the late George Perez, Joe Rubenstein, stuff like this. Story was by Jim Starlin. This is a kind of a must-have for collectors. I've got a couple copies of this. I would probably venture this could have used a press. Unfortunately, the pressing services for CBCS are very delayed. But 8.0 is not terrible. White pages, I'll take it. Big fan of this book, big fan of the storyline. If you watch the movie, you should be a big fan too. 8.0 is not bad, because we're talking a book early 90s. All right, next up. Okay. This is sort of, I don't want to say it's one of my babies, but this was a awesome book. So this is Marvel Superheroes number 13. It says Captain Marvel on it because it features Captain Marvel. When you see Captain Marvel, this is the original Captain Marvel, not the Carol Danvers that we know of in the MCU. However, this is the first appearance of Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers. The second appearance of Captain Marvel, who obviously becomes Miss Marvel. So this was an awesome book. We're going back to March of 1968. This thing's badass. I love this. I'm a huge Miss Marvel fan. Carol Danvers is my girl. You'll see, I have a Miss Marvel number 1, autographed by Stan Lee, I believe, coming up next. 4.5 is an awesome grade for something like this. I'm very excited about this. This is one of my personal, this is probably going to be this is for the PC, guys. And followed that up without any more fanfare, the Miss Marvel number 1, autographed by Stan. All right, here we go, guys. Check that out. Miss Marvel number 1, 7.5. Off-white white, I'll take it. Number 1, you can see that beautiful Stan Lee signature. I got that in person at the first comic book convention I had been to probably ever, I think, in my life. MegaCon Orlando, I want to say 2014. There's my Miss Marvel number 1, 7.5. That's awesome. As you can see, verified Stan Lee, Stan the Man, RIP, newsstand edition, Miss Marvel, 7 point. That's awesome. There's the first appearance of Carol Danvers as Miss Marvel. You got a Mary Jane Watson in it, J. Jonah Jameson, Scorpion appearance, Peter Parker cameo. I've read this. I have all 23 of the Miss Marvel, the original series from the late 70s. I got all 23 of them. I've read them all. It's cool, awesome little series. I love the artwork. Like, I'm a huge fan of this. This is John Romita Sr., John Buscema. I mean, look at this. This is like a story by Jerry Conway. This is like a Joe Sinnott. This is a heavy hitters book right here. And Miss Marvel #1, Stan Lee signed, verified signature, CBCS 7.5. That's awesome. I kind of wish that was. I should have saved this one for last. But there's more, guys. Let's see what else we got. So, next up. All right, so that's not really a good grade. So, if you guys are paying attention to the MCU, there's going to be a new Secret Invasion Disney Plus series with a big basis on the Skrulls and Nick Fury and whatnot. So, this was actually like a one-shot Secret Invasion Dark Reign. It was kind of like a, yeah, you can see down there. It's a Marvel one-shot. I took a chance on this. I got it in a collection. It doesn't have a ton of resale value. Obviously, like a 9.6 or 9.8 would have made it very, so 8.0 is not great. Again, you can see a little bit of the color breakage there. So that's probably on me for not real. Oh, actually, that's a lot worse than I thought. That's probably on me. So cool comic book. If we're gonna be honest, this is a Secret Invasion is gonna be a huge storyline. I took a shot on something that was sort of a one-shot, sort of unique book. Didn't really pan out. Whatever. We move on. So next up is, come on. All right. So we have Silk #1. If you're not familiar with the character Silk, Spider-Man. This is Silk, who is otherwise known as Cindy Moon. This was the, they came out with a Silk series, 2015. This is the second printing, which actually has had greater resale value than the first printing. So this was the second printing of this. I believe the first printing was red, with the red, trim. This was the blue. This is straight Spider-Verse, guys. Cindy Moon, Silk #1 from 2015. Second printing. 9.6 is a good grade on this, man. This is a really awesome grade. I did have a Silk #1 first printing signed by cover artist Dave Johnson that I sold. That was actually a 9.4, I believe, that I sold a couple, maybe like a year ago. Did quite well with that. But this is a great book with the new Spider-Verse and the multiverse. Silk, Cindy Moon, she's coming, guys. This is what's up. So awesome book to have. 9.6 is a good grade, man. I mean, sure. Just like when we grade cards, we want everything to be a 10. Well, when we get comics, we want everything to be a 9.8. But I'll take a 9.6. That's an awesome grade right there for an awesome book. All right, next up, guys. A couple more. We have... All right, speaking of Spider-Verse. All right, Spider-Gwen #1. This was a book I did purchase off the rack back in 2015. And it's the first appearance of Spider-Gwen, Gwen Stacy, in her own title. And 9.2 is not bad. I bought this. You can see a little bit of color break, but not really. Could be a million different things, guys. I'd have to look at some grader's notes, which I do believe are on the website. So I should be able to see just some of the imperfections. But Spider-Gwen #1, a 9.2. It's not a bad grade. This is an awesome book, super sought after. There is a couple other Into the Spider-Verse with a Gwen Stacy as Spider-Gwen. I know that's a huge book. And crazy thing is it came out same time or similar time as this and just never picked it up. But awesome book, 9.2. No complaints here. All right, a few more. I'm just going to take all these out at once because it's getting a little hard to pull them out one at a time. So, this is... Oh, okay. All right, so here is another... this was a DC Vertigo Sweet Tooth #1. If you guys have seen... I never really watched it. I know there is the Sweet Tooth series. This is kind of a sought-after book. I got an 8.0 on this. Not awesome, if I'm gonna be honest. It's still a pretty cool book. They did the series on it or the TV show on it. I honestly never watched it, so I'm not uber familiar. But I know this was kind of like another cult classic, kind of like the Chew #1. I did get this in the same collection as the Chew #1, and apparently it was a little chewed up itself. So 8.0, again, we've seen a couple 8s, not ideal, especially for books that are, I mean, we're going back 13 years. This is 2009. You know, this in, you know, 9.6, 9.8 is a good book to have. Obviously an 8.0. This will be for, you know, affordable value for someone's collection. Not complaining, but I guess maybe I had a little higher expectations. All right, so what do we got here? All right. Okay, 9.0 is not bad. So this one, you might recognize this cover. It's pretty famous, X-Men. This obviously is the like second incarnation of Volume 2 X-Men. Obviously, this is not the original Uncanny X-Men for all of you who are not X-Men fanatics. So in the early 90s, they kind of redid X-Men. X-Men #4. This is the first appearance of Omega Red. Huge storyline, Omega Red, Wolverine, all that stuff. This is an awesome book. 9.0 is really not bad. I got this, again, off a newsstand as like a 13-year-old kid. I think that's how old I was. In January of 1992, direct edition. I remember going on we had a collectibles hobby store, baseball cards, comic books, things like that. God, I forget what it was called. Anyways, but I bought this, had it in my collection for the last 30 years. I mean, when we think about it, 30-year-old book. And 9.0, that's pretty good. I'm actually pretty impressed with that for something that's sat in my personal comic book collection for 30 plus years that I read as a teen. 9.0, that's not bad, guys. All right, last, but I guess certainly not least, hand to God, I don't remember what it is. We have, oh, okay, here we go. Speaking of Secret Invasion, let's get this out because this is my invoice. All right. So, here is the Secret Invasion Marvel 2008 Secret Invasion #1. So this, guys, this is why I got the Dark Reign one-shot. So this is the Secret Invasion. This is what is going to soon be a Disney Plus series. This is the Skrulls taking over. It's going to be an awesome series. If you guys aren't super familiar, kind of going off of the Captain Marvel movie, the introduction of the Skrulls with Talos and everybody, but they're not all Skrulls are good Skrulls, and that's what Secret Invasion is. That's kind of the storyline. This is Secret Invasion #1 from 2008. It's just incredible. You can actually see when we get to close up. There's the Captain America. You see the Skrulls, Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man. I mean, it's basically just that. The Skrulls have infiltrated the Avengers. This is awesome. Like, seriously, this is awesome. 9.2, that's pretty damn good, man. I'll take it. Would have hoped for a little bit higher grade, but that is an awesome book right there. This was a limited series. This is one of 8 because there was a total of 8. I do have all 8. It's an awesome series, awesome storyline, huge impact on the MCU. Great book here. So yeah, man. Not bad, guys. I'm a couple duds. It happens. I mean, if you got 30-year-old books, you get a few duds. Surprisingly, let's do a quick little recap. Secret Invasion #1, 9.2, X-Men #4, first appearance of Omega Red, 9.0, Sweet Tooth #1, 8.0, a little bit of a disappointment, no worries. Spider-Gwen #1, 9.2, right there, first Spider-Gwen, Gwen Stacy. Silk #1, second printing, 9.6. Cindy Moon appearance, loving it. Secret Invasion Dark Reign one-shot, 8.0. Not great. That's okay. Guys, here's the Big Daddy, my Big Daddy. Miss Marvel #1, 7.5, newsstand edition, verified signature, Stan Lee, Stan the Man, boom, 7.5. It's an awesome book. Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel Superheroes, #13, featuring Captain Marvel, 4.5. That's a really good grade right there. Cream off-white pages, 4.5. First appearance of Carol Danvers before she becomes Miss Marvel. This is the storyline where we learn how she gets her powers. Awesome book. One of my personal favorites. Guys, we got an Infinity Gauntlet, 8.0. Not the best grade. Like I said, mildly disappointing, if we're going to be honest. Mildly disappointing. But awesome book. I would recommend as a collector, if you're looking for keys, this is a big one. hey, I might have an 8.0 for sale for a very reasonable rate. Check out my eBay store. Next up, awesome book again. Kind of a minor key. This is Fantastic Four number 66 from us. What is that? From September of 1967. This is a 5.0, which is awesome. Off-white pages. It's just got a little staining on the cover and front and back. This is basically the origin of Adam Warlock. And it's coming up very soon, guys. Very soon. And just a matter of probably a few months or later this year, I believe. It's later this year. Guardians of the Galaxy, the third edition, I believe the final edition, is going to have the first appearance of Adam Warlock in the MCU. This is his origin of where he came from. So that's an awesome key book. Again, guys, 1967. That's pretty awesome. We have our Chew number 1, kind of a cult classic. 9.2. This was an Image book right here. 9.2 is not bad. I'll take it. I'm not really complaining. Again, this was the third printing. There were multiple printings of this storyline. And then last, and certainly not least, here's my A-Force number 1, guys. 9.4, verified signature, Jorge Molina. There it is. Got that. You can even see he wrote 15. Why? Because I got this signed at Tampa Comic-Con. That's what it was. Tampa Comic-Con in 2015. So, first appearance of Singularity. We should be making an appearance in the MCU soon. Singularity, that's Singularity right there. She's sort of like the, if you recall from the recent Thor movie with Eternity being that sort of cosmic eternal being, Singularity is sort of a child version of it, I guess I'll say. So anyways, awesome book, 9.4, signed by Jorge Molina. Great book, guys. Anyways, thanks for stopping by. I know this video got a little long, but 12 books, some pretty cool grades, couple duds. It happens, man. Comics are hard to go through as you know, to kind of look through sort of objectively and say, let's take my emotion out of it. I bought this. This should be fine. Now, I mean, we understand there's so many different little things and dings. It's not quite like card grading where you're looking at, you know, certain criteria as far as trading cards. There's so many pages, so many things that could possibly go wrong and detract. So that's why there's, you know, that's why their scale has so many increments in the 9.0, 9.2, 9.4, 9.6, 9.8. I was going to say, I feel like we saw everything but a 9.8. Guys, thanks for stopping by. This was our CBCS submission return that we just got. It was, like I said, it was almost a year, so it was a little while. But some awesome books. We love having you guys stop by. I've got a lot of awesome comic stuff coming up. So for my comic book collector fans, please tune in because we got a lot of cool stuff. And if you guys are like me and you love just hobby and collectibles and whatever in general, we got some really cool shit. Speaking of Dave Johnson, Cindy Moon, look, that's a original sketch by Dave Johnson. I just noticed it sitting on the wall right there. So there it is. We got a lot of awesome, cool stuff coming up, guys. So please, we love having you. Thanks to all my comic friends who stopped by for the first time. Check out some of our sports collectibles videos. You guys might enjoy them. Invite your friends, subscribe to our channel, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks, guys.